Behavior has just announced the changes coming with the 8.6.0 PTB that is releasing this Tuesday. So let's take a look at everything included in here. First of all, the mending status effect is getting a nerf, decreasing the time it takes to mend oneself to 10 seconds from 12, as well as altruistic mending being reduced to 6 seconds instead of 8. This was done because mending is a very boring mechanic to go against, as it's just holding a button, so now it's faster to do, and also doing it for your teammates can be even faster now. Of course, this is a nerf mostly to the Legion, but for that, the devs have compensated. The Legion has received a lot of changes to their power, starting with their fatigue time, which has been decreased to 2.5 seconds from 3 seconds, and the movement speed while in fatigue was increased to 2.3 seconds, so you don't lose as much distance now after cancelling or running out of your power. Additionally, Feral Frenzy now lasts 1 second more, going to 11 seconds, and the cooldown of the power is now 15 seconds instead of 20, which is huge. Finally, the movement speed earned by hit during Feral Frenzy has increased to 0.24, which is once again a huge change that is going to help get that 4th hit easier. Of course, all of this comes with add-on adjustments, which are most likely going to be nerfs. The Legion were dependent on their add-ons in order to be significantly better, especially the brown quality ones, which were by far the best of what they had. Now, Legion got some of the add-ons base kit, so I see them being much stronger than they were before, especially against new players that don't know the counter to this character is to just not group up. The Xenomorph is getting a lot of changes to every single of its aspect, so let's start with the tail attack, which now takes 0.35 seconds to attack instead of 0.2, which is a nerf. The sound of the tail attack has increased to give survivors more of a chance to dodge, and finally, the cooldown of a missed attack is reduced to 2.5 seconds from 3 seconds, which is a buff. This was done because a lot of survivors complained that the Xenomorph's tail comes out extremely fast and with barely any warning, so they don't have any time to react to it. With this, the devs want survivors to react to the attack in order to give some kind of counterplay to this killer, and also not punish the Xenomorph as much if they miss an attack. Then, with the tunnels, the Killer Instinct radius reveal has been increased to 16 meters from 12, which is a huge radius buff, and additionally, the time it takes to exit a tunnel has been reduced to 1.5 seconds from 2.25, so both of these are buffs to his mobility and tracking. Finally, the turret hit mechanic has been changed a lot. Now it takes a lot more heat in order to get the Xenomorph out of the crawler mode, basically almost double to 175 fire from 100 fire. However, the time to dissipate the heat has been increased to 15 seconds from only 1 second, and the dissipation rate of the heat is now only 2 per second instead of 25 per second. This was done in order to make the turrets more effective in low tier play, as a lot of survivors don't know how to put them efficiently, so the Xenomorph is barely affected by the turrets in low MMR lobbies, but in high MMR lobbies, it gets absolutely destroyed with smart turret placement. So now, the Xenomorph can easily deal with single turrets placed poorly in low MMR or very effective ones in high MMR. However, it will have problems when it comes to various turrets in a short period of time, as it takes significantly longer to dissipate the heat from before. The Xenomorph's add-ons will also receive changes to compensate with these buffs and nerfs, and some of his least used add-ons will be buffed, so I am excited to see what buffs they're getting, as Xenomorph is notorious for having a trash variety of add-ons. Chucky is getting a buff to his power, with the cooldown of the power being reduced to 12 seconds from 14, and his acceleration after doing a scamper has been increased. This will make Chucky feel better than he did before, as he felt really bad with the recent nerfs he got to his speed. A bunch of killers are getting their turn radius adjusted. Both of the speedy killers, Hillbilly and Blight, will now have a 40 meter turn radius just like Wesker does, and for stealth killers, Pig, Ghostface, and Skull Merchant, they will get 24 meters of turn radius, just like Sadako does. It's very sad to see that they didn't add the Death Slinger in the 24 meters category, so it seems like they are firm with that change. This was done as standardization of the third radiuses from different killers, as it made no sense how some of them had a bigger radius while others had a smaller one. I am surprised to see Skull Merchant being considered for the changes because of her oblivious on deploying drones, so maybe the devs are looking into making Skull Merchant a stealth killer in the future, which is what I suggested on my Skull Merchant rework, so I am very excited if that's the case. The surrender mechanic, which was mentioned on phase 1 of the changes, is coming with this update, and now, if any of the 4 conditions are met, the players in question can surrender from the match in the pause screen. These situations are when all remaining survivors are bots, and when no generators have been repaired for 10 minutes, the killer can surrender the match, and when all other survivors are bots, and when all survivors are slugged, the survivors can surrender the match. This will count as a loss for the game, so your items and offerings will be gone. Surrendering is just an option to go to the next match the fastest way possible when met with unwinnable or very boring scenarios, so I am happy to see this feature, and wondering if survivors and killers alike can trigger this mechanic intentionally to annoy the other side. They will be looking for other extreme cases in order to add more surrender options, and they also said that plot twist will not count for the surrender option, so that's something positive. Forsaken Boneyard, the realm of Eyrie of Crows, is getting a new map in the style of Wrecker's Yard and Rotten Fields, with the shack in the middle of it and with no main building, so this is a purely graveyard map, as you can see in the images. New tiles will also be added to this version, which are easier to navigate according to the devs. We will see if this map is going to be another survivor-sided map, just like the original is. Some survivor perks are getting changed with this patch. Quick and Quiet is getting a cooldown buff, going to 15 seconds from 20 seconds, a 5-second decrease. Good change. Deception is getting the same treatment to its cooldown, but also the period where you're not leaving scratch marks is increased to 5 seconds from 3. I don't think it's going to change much, but it's a good buff for the fans of this perk. Dance With Me got the exact same treatment as Deception, with the same values. Again, another stealth focused perk getting a buff. And finally, Red Herring got a buff, as it now takes 1 second to trigger the effect of this perk, and the cooldown was significantly reduced to 15 seconds from 40. However, this perk is still going to be trash due to its design. All of these perks are focused on deceiving the killer, so they hope that the new deception based builds are created with these buffs. Some killer perks are also changing with this patch, and the most important change is Knockout, as it got a complete rework. Now, instead of being a solo queue nightmare, Knockout will activate when a survivor drops a pallet. If they move 6 meters from that pallet within 6 seconds, they get a 5% hindered status effect for 5 seconds. This perk is going to be absolutely fantastic against survivors who just hold W and pre-drop every pallet in the map, so I am sure this is going to be a meta perk choice for killers like the Clown. The original Knockout was just a trash design perk that only affected solo queue without making any difference against Survive with Friends. It had to go from the game, and it's crazy how it took them so long to do, but better late than never, and the new Knockout is actually looking decent. Alien Instinct is getting a buff, with the aura reveal increasing to 8 seconds instead of 5, and the duration of the Oblivious status effect now lasts an entire minute instead of 20 seconds. It's a significant buff, but the way this perk activates makes me think it's not going to see much action. Hysteria is getting a buff, with the Oblivious duration increasing to 40 seconds from 30, and the cooldown was reduced to 20 seconds from 30. Nice overall. Deathbound got a buff to the range at which this perk triggers, going from 8 meters at most to 4 meters at most, so this forces survivors to be even closer if they don't want to trigger the effects of this perk. It's a significant buff to it. Finally, Nemesis is getting a buff to the aura reveal duration, going from 4 seconds to 8 seconds. Don't think this will change much personally. And that's all the changes coming to the PTB on this 11th of March, which will also have a new licensed killer too. So stay tuned for the video showcasing everything in the future. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.